So I guess you wanted to find out how I do my taxes as an owner-operator or slash lease purchase driver. We're going to fill you in right now. Stay tuned. Just as a heads up, this video is not for any legal information. This is just for educational purposes only. This is all my opinion, my ideas. Alright, good evening or day or morning or whenever you happen to watch this. We're coming to you today. I've been thinking of new videos to make, of course, and it dawned on me that I've never seen anything on YouTube, as far as us truck drivers go, of how we file our taxes. So I'm going to share with you my way that I do it and have been doing it for the last couple of years as a lease purchase driver. First off, of course I'm not even ready for this. I'm just shooting right off the top of my head here, so nothing's scripted out or anything like that, so hopefully I cover everything. But first off, you gotta have all your receipts. I mean, I got receipts for everything, you know, everything but food. I don't keep the food receipts. That's the only thing I don't keep, thanks to per diem. Okay, the second thing I use is this wonderful little machine right here. What it is just basically a portable scanner. All my receipts that I use for my taxes, I scan on here, and then I upload them to my laptop. Now, do you really absolutely need one of these? Not really. The main thing I bought this for is to help organize all my receipts, and also that way if anything happens to my actual receipts, you know, over a year's time, 2 years time, 3 years time, the ink on the receipts start to fade. So therefore, that's why I scan them into my computer, and I have them on hand whenever I need them. Labeling, you know, as fuel and scales and tolls and truck washes and maintenance that I've done and so on and so forth. So, a lot of people will say, oh, get you a CPA, go hire one of these companies that you send them your receipts and they charge you a weekly or a monthly fee to do. Now granted, when I first became a lease purchase driver, I did buy into one of those CPA companies. I won't mention their name. A lot of you guys probably know exactly who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to mention their name. And after I sat down and I really started thinking about it, granted the money that I pay them is a tax write-off as well, but the thing that clicked in my head the most is I'm doing it all myself pretty much anyways. I'm holding on to my receipts. I was a lazy guy that, I don't know if you can say lazy, but we'll just say I procrastinated a lot, and I never bothered to send them the receipts that I have for fuel and everything else. So I'm paying a $20 a week, you know, fee for basically nothing. So I started thinking about it, and then I told myself, I was like, why? Why do I need to pay somebody if I'm doing everything on my own? The only thing I'm not doing on my own is physically filing my taxes. So what I do is I keep all my receipts for anything, everything, the whole 9 yards. Whenever I buy cleaning supplies, whenever I buy maintenance supplies, tools, parts, maintenance chemicals like your Lucas oil or your Lucas stabilizer stuff, washer fluid, regular oil to add when you're running a little low, you know, all that kind of stuff. I keep all my receipts for. And then now that we're in here in December, when I go home for Christmas, my job if I don't procrastinate like I normally do and wait till, you know, February or March to actually do all this, what I do is I take all my receipts. I look at them, find out what they're exactly for, what I bought or what I spent the money on, or what have you. Obviously, all my fuel gets put in one pile, all my tolls and my scales, and I start dividing them into different sections. I also have a worksheet that's on an Excel form that basically I copied at my tax agency that I file my taxes with, what they gave me. All I did was copy it from their page and put it into an Excel sheet. That way I can add numbers and take numbers away and so forth. But what I'll do is, you know, I get all my piles separated for fuel and scales and tolls and washes and maintenance and everything that I have there. I then go through and I add up all the numbers for each individual pile. Then I take my nice stack of receipts, like for fuel, you know, you're normally, you know, a good 2 inches thick or so for fuel for a whole year. Now granted, you should technically do quarterly taxes. I don't, but you technically should. I mean, I technically should myself, but I don't. I get lazy and I don't do it. I just wait till the end. But what I do, I should say, get all my receipts, I add them all up. I then on a piece of notebook paper or even just blank printer paper, you know, whatever that amount totals, I write it down and I stack it on top of that stack for every single one of them. Then what I do is then I go to my local tax agency, which I don't use H&R Block, I don't use Jackson Hewlett, I don't use TurboTax Online or any of those tax agencies that you have to pay, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to. I know TurboTax or whatever, you can do it for free, but like H&R Block and Jackson Hewlett and all that, I went in there one year and they wanted, I'd say like almost $500 just to file my taxes, because they needed so many forms for all the different deductions that I have. And to me, it's a ripoff. Why do I need to pay that much? My local mom and pop place, they deal with a lot of truck drivers. There's a lot of truck drivers around us. So they deal with them. They know about the per diem, and they know about, you know, different write-offs that I might have not known about at the time that I was filing my taxes. And they only charge me, it goes up like $20 a year, but right now I'm at $185 to file. Granted, it's still a couple $100, but I still write off that fee as well on my taxes. But that's a flat rate fee. They don't charge me for every single form that I need. So when I file to claim my kids and all the different stuff that I have at the house, they don't charge me for every form like some of these bigger companies do. And that's where I get out ahead on them, or versus the other companies. So what I do is when I go to my tax agency, I sit down and I speak with the woman that normally does my taxes every year, and she pulls, you know, she types in my stuff on the computer, she pulls it all up, asks me if anything majorly has changed with any of my stuff, you know, and of course either I say yes or I say no, or we go on, you know, and continue. So then we start going, and I have all my receipts and all that with me. Now when I scan them on the computer, they stay on the computer, but I have all my hard copies of receipts for verification purposes. If they want to look at them and say that, you know, that number that you have there just doesn't seem right, or like the fact of, say, maybe last year I spent $50,000 in fuel and this year I spent $100,000 in fuel. You know, they're going to say, wait a minute, last year you did this, because on their computer system it shows what I filed last year. And so what we do is we start plugging in all the different numbers for all the different deductions and so forth. Now, after that, you know, they come up and they say, okay, you got to pay this much, or you're going to get a refund, or, you know, whatever the case may be. For everybody, it's different. Now you're probably sitting there going, well, that's basically the same thing that I do now. Why did I need to watch this video? Well, the reason why I did this video is because I've never seen a video on taxes. So basically, if you got any comments, questions, concerns, or anything, leave them in the description box or in the comment section below. All my personal information you can find in the description box. So if you need to get a hold of me on Facebook to ask me some questions, feel free, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and shoot me some messages and I'll answer them to the best of my ability, of course. Nobody's perfect. This is not for, you know, any legal information, that's for sure, because I'm definitely not a legal agent. But basically what I do is, you know, I separate. So if you're not separating, if you're just mailing off all your stuff to an agency and they're sorting through them, or you just walk in there and say, here you go, you know, when I separate and I add up numbers, I know what I'm filing because I know what I'm dealing with. I know all the receipts. I know what they're, you know, what, maybe not exactly what every receipt is when I have it in a big stack, but from sorting them out and figuring all the numbers, I know what I have there. So if they're going through and they're saying, oh, well, according to our, you know, the little checklist, which if any of you guys want that, I can possibly send that over to you. I gotta hook it back up again, but I might be able to get that to you guys. Just message me on Facebook. But, you know, if they're looking at their list and they say, oh, well, you know, you got washer fluid here, but you don't have any receipts for it, or you didn't mention it, then I can go through and go, oh, that's right, I mixed washer fluid with oil changes because, you know, it's stuff for the truck or whatever. I can go through there and say, look, okay, here's this, and here's this, and here's this, total it up, and boom, and then they can input the numbers. So sorting them out ahead of time, basically all I'm doing is just saving time at the actual tax agency. That's all I'm doing. But other than that, that's all I have for you guys. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, like, share it out, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Like I said before, all my information is down in the description box below. If you did like this video, or even if you didn't, but you want to see more, click that little bubble or that little subscribe button you're going to see. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.